What's up, y'all? It's Jam and Sam, and today we're going to continue recreating the Donkey Kong Country 2 OST. And I've had a couple people say, haven't you already done this? But this is different. This is not restoration. I'm not using the sample libraries that the composer used in the original game. I'm using new sample libraries from my own choosing, modern sample libraries. So everything's going to sound really as realistic as possible, rather than sounding like sample libraries from the 80s. That's a very important distinction. So it's going to sound different. It'll still be the same compositions and the same notes, but I'm having a little bit of artistic freedom here. And I'm not changing very much, but I am using modern. So I'm trying to get a modern sound rather than a video game sound. So, and last time we had sort of split up the orchestral compositions. I'm trying to do this all in one project. I split up the orchestral compositions and the non-orchestral compositions. And so I had also I had needed a tin whistle, an Irish flute sound for the first two levels. And so I actually found a really good Irish flute sound. It's actually an Irish tin whistle, which they call it. I don't know what the difference is, but I found a free contact sample library from, what is it called, pianobook.com. And this one does have round robin, which means that whenever you hit a note, it doesn't just play the same sample. Oh, that's the concertina. It plays a different sample every time, so whenever you hear a repeated note, you don't just hear it isn't obviously a sample library, because if a sample library does not have round robin, it'll just repeat the exact same recording when you hit the same note, and you'll be able to tell, because each note in a real instrument, each note is supposed to sound slightly different, even if it's the same pitch. So, with that said, I did find a library that was free for contact and that had round robin. So that just goes to show that you don't always need to pay money to get a good sample library. There are people who create sample libraries that don't expect any money. And so you can sort of, it doesn't always work out that way, but a lot of the times you can get away you can find a good free library for whatever you need, or if it's cheap. So without further ado, I will introduce the tin whistle that I have found. And the peculiar thing about this sample library was that if you play it with the velocity lower, it goes down an octave. And if you play it with a higher velocity, it goes up an octave, which is why whenever I was pushing the note here, depending on what velocity I play, it goes down an octave. And I think maybe the reason for this is perhaps the flute. That was the way it was on the flute. If you blow harder on the flute, it goes up an octave. Perhaps that's just a guess. I don't know how the Irish tin whistle is, but that's how this sample library is. And so that was a really cool thing that I could actually, instead of just putting it up an octave, I just put it up velocity if I want a higher octave. But for now, we're sticking to the lower octave for these two compositions. And also, the sample library came with both a staccato articulation, in other words, a short articulation. So just like a one single blow, like a boop, rather than a sustained boop. And the way that library expresses that, using key switches, which is very common, where you put a key down here, which is out of the range. Whenever you want to switch it, you select C sharp for the staccato, or short articulation, and then you push C5 to switch to the sustained articulations. So I've used both here, and I've switched between staccato, and I have it switching between staccato and sustain. So you'll hear that. Check this out. Cool. So it sounds a little bit funky, but it sounds pretty good to me. I like it. And then if you go over here, no, that's the concertina. So yeah, there's that in Clump's Romp, and then in Jib Jig, it sounds like, let's see. Nice. Okay, so, and also beyond that, I've bought the harp extension for Piano Tech, which cost me $50. But it's a good sample library because it recreates it not solely with samples, but with synthesis. So that means there is going to be no repetition whenever I hit the same note because it's all synthesis and it's randomized. There's like a bunch of randomized variables. So it sounds as close to a natural instrument as you can get, pretty much. I like it a lot. Okay, so with that being said, I have gotten some sound effects for Jib Jig, which include rain, wind, and the flag sound that keeps on that. So let me drag all of these things in there. The samples that I have found. Where is my flag? I know I had the flag somewhere. But I don't see it here in my library. I might have accidentally deleted it. Maybe it's this one, actually. Nope, that's not it. Probably deleted it by accident. Let me check in my trash bin. Oh, yes, I did. Okay. Let me restore that. Okay, so I have... Right, actually, I won't add that in at this time. First, I want to get the weather effects. So here we have... Let me solo this here. I have a tea kettle whistling, and one of the things that was distinctive about the wind in the original was that you have this whistling, this eerie whistling wind tone. So I wanted to recreate that, and I found that maybe I'm gonna try getting this. There's this tea kettle whistle, and I'm gonna try pitching that down an octave, see how that does. That sounds pretty good. Let me try pitching it down even more. Ah. I think that sounds even more like the original. Cool. So let's, here, it's actually going down 2 octaves, so let me specify this. And let me start it, ideally it would start about here. Very nice, it sounds pretty good. Now the next sound that I have is, what is this? This is the rain. And I think it's a pretty good sound. If we have a fade in here. Yeah. That works pretty well. So But I don't like it sounds unrealistic that it's just a consistent pitch. So one thing I can do is to create go to the pitch and create an automation clip, and then create slight rises or slight changes, random changes in the pitch. Let me try this. I think I want it to be a little faster, and let me solo this. And it's important that I add the jib jig pattern here to make sure that the tempo is fully realized, because jib jig is going to have a different tempo probably. So let's see. I have to put it in a space all its own. So let me move this over. Let me turn down the rain. And let me make the wind start earlier. Cool. That's off to a good start. Now let's see. What about? And I kind of want to like fade these into each other, or maybe we can have them. We have room here. Let's put in the other. Let's check out the other sound we have. This is a normal wind sound. Just kind of an underlying wind. I like that it has that low end. That's a really good, really nice stereo wind sound. So let's try, now I have this other sound that's like... I probably don't need both. I think I can do with just one. We can shelve that for later. See if we need it. And I think I can't hear the concertina very well anymore. Let's see. Let's click this note and Shift C, and I'm gonna make it higher velocity because I do believe I made it higher velocity in the other one. Nice. I think I need to make it loud, or I'll probably just make the velocity a lot higher. With Shift C and then Alt X. Nice. Maybe too much. It just jumps up like so much. Like just from that little... Nice. Okay, now let's do some more wind. Pitch changes. Okay, very nice. So now we can have that wind die down, have everything die down. And I want to hear the flute a little more. Let's turn it up. I kind of want to hear the wind whistle a little more. Oh, I need more rain. And I need less wind. Okay, very good. Now I think I'll have the, since we don't have as much rain, I think I'll just have it fade out for the fact. But I need less wind, less whistling wind. What is the... Okay, so the tempo is the same for both songs. That's good. I think I need the, I think I actually want the... So in the original, the wind kind of drops out. The wind and the weather effects kind of drops out for the music, so I think that's important. Going to be important here. Yeah, welcome, Asian B. All right, welcome, Eric S. Monkey. Yeah. Goddamn, buy you a drink is such. Oh yeah, that was a fun one. Yeah, it's one of my originals. Welcome, Mr. Jimo Derbopo Pinstar. Yeah, that's a lot. That's a mouthful. Looks Dutch. Welcome, Invocator. Welcome, Ludovic. Well, I love your restored song. Thank you. Okay, so I want to make a cut whenever the music starts getting full. And then I'm going to drag this part out, and then we're going to have it come back in. Have it fade out a little bit, and then come back in. And that means that now we can have we can use some more of the rain, having it go away later. So let's try that. And at least I think we want the rain to die out. I think I want, since I have artistic freedom here, I kind of want the whistling wind to die out in the second part. like when it really gets to the full sort of thing. And I want to, it doesn't let me do the fading in while it's playing. And there's a problem with this lower wind is that it has let's see, wind. We'll do wind, and that the problem with this is that it has a low end rumble that I want to remove. Oh, that makes it fit so much better. Nice. But I feel like there were more drums in this part. So like there was I think yeah, I feel like there were definitely more drums. Let me go and get the original first. Check that out. It seems to be having some, Kironeko seems to be having some trouble here. Come on. Okay, there it is. Oh wow, now it's played 2. Oh, you have another one of those Okay, so that means oh, I think I put it over here. Yeah, I think it continues out here. I think it starts there and continues out. So if I just paste it over here. Oh, and of course FL Studio would never paste anything where I want it to, because it's got bad, and also not only does it not paste anything where I want to, it pastes it off the grid, so I can't actually move it. I have to like change my grid snap to move it where I really need it, which is really dumb. They should really update their copy pasting method. Okay, so I've got the sticks. Now I just need the toms from here. So let's copy paste those. Okay, at least it didn't paste it off grid at this point. Oh. Nice. Nice. I feel like these should be higher velocity. This bass drum here, or the bass tom. Yeah, there we go. Oh yeah, and it was big. It was yeah, there we go. Okay, so I think yeah, the other wind needs to fade out faster. And this actually the rain needs to fade out faster too. Nice. I like how the wind just continues to like fade out a little bit after that. Really cool. Beautiful to have the jig play as I finally try to sleep. Ah, nice. Welcome, Serendipitous. Yeah, let it soothe you. So I think we're pretty much done here. Let's listen to both Clump's Romp, and I'm gonna skip the some of the sound effects for now. I want that harp to be louder, actually. Make those violins a little bit louder. Nice transition. Nice, okay. Note that nothing really has effects at this point. We're not having any reverb or delay yet. That's going to come in later. Welcome, Sophie Mendez. All right, so, yes. Now, next is going to be Lockjaw's Saga, and that's an orchestral arrangement. So we're going to save this, our progress here, and then we're going to go into load the orchestral version. Now, I did find a way, because the reason why I split them up in the first place was because I was having trouble with the amount of memory. Due to all the orchestral instruments, they were taking up a lot of memory. They were maxing out my memory. But I seem to have found a solution to this. I went to the engine here, and it allows you to specify the cache level, meaning that how much data is streamed from the disk versus how much is loaded into the RAM. So I just set this to 1, meaning that it's the most amount possible is streamed from the disk. And I can do this because I have an SSD. SSD means that a solid state drive, meaning it allows for a lot of like switching back and forth, as I understand it. That means that I am having like a lower, it's drastically reducing the load on my memory. I'm only at 8 gigs so far, which is a pretty good amount. I think my total CPU usage while I'm on stream is only like 75%. So that's working out nicely, but I still kept it because I sort of want to, I kept it without like all in two projects because I don't really want to overload the mixer at the end. I want to keep, because most of the orchestral arrangements in the game, do not go around using a lot of other sounds, probably because of the RAM limitations of the game. So there's not a lot of other instruments in the orchestral arrangements. I think so far the only real like non-orchestral instrument we have here is the Irish tin whistle, which I have to actually switch and add to this. As of right now, I'm using in the orchestral arrangements the traditional Piccolo. And I think I'm going to try to switch this. I don't know how that's going to go, but definitely for this part, like especially for the because there's like a trill here, and I have that trill as an orchestral thing. So let's see how that's going to sound. I don't want to like completely switch it out yet. Let's go and take all of these all these piccolo notes. And let's go into the contact. Let's call this contact first of all, because it is our contact thing. It's not just our bass solo anymore. So we're actually going to have the Irish tin whistle go in here on channel 2. I believe it'll be channel 2, yes. And so we're going to paste these notes here and select channel 2 and Alt-C to change them. So let's see how that sounds. Okay, that sounds great so far. Let me specify that this is going to be a staccato, staccato switch. Oh no, I don't want that to be. And because it switches so fast, I'm not really going to use the key switch. Well, actually, I might be able to. It might have a like much better sound. Let's find out. Let's try to use that. So let's start out doing sustain. And then briefly we'll switch. But every time it has a short note, we'll switch to staccato. It's kind of hard to see. I can't see the full thing unless I take my zoom. I adjust my zoom really. So here there's a short note. Here there's a short note. Another short note. And actually, I think these are like this repeated phrase is just like this. We can cut that and then just repeat this, just duplicate this. And I think it just follows the same rhythm. But here, it's all staccato, so. Nice, very rewarding. And so here, one thing that's of consequence I feel here is that the trill, I'm gonna have to go and get it from if I'm gonna use this, I might be able to use both. Yeah, I think it actually blends really well, like the orchestral trill actually blends well with the penny whistle. So it kind of sounds like the same instrument. But one thing that I do notice is that when it gets that final note, it does, I need the sustain patch. And one thing I do notice is that the panning is centered on the contact patch. I forgot to set the panning, so let's try and set that. It's not quite enough. Okay, that works. But I also noticed that there's no decay here, and so I do want it to that long note to decay. So I have to go to my envelope, turn off the sustain, set the decay to about 2 seconds. Let's see how that. Except that it's not working. It's not obeying the envelope, which is kind of concerning. That shouldn't happen. So let's go see what the amplifier modulations are. And it seems to be like it should work, but it's not working for some reason. Or maybe it's just too long. No, it's actually not too long. Maybe I'm on this. Maybe I'm not editing the right group. I don't want to see the script editor. Okay, yeah. So I want to edit all groups here. Maybe if I edit all groups, it'll work like that. Okay, so Contact is being stupid right now. Yeah, like I said, Contact is not exactly the best plugin. But it's the best one we have for samplers, and a lot of people make samples for it. So what I want to do then is artificially assign a knob to the volume here, and then I want to go to generators, contact, and find this volume knob, and I'm going to Control I to insert what? No, don't do that. Insert what's already there, and then at this bar 13, I want to try to right click and then drag this down here. And I want to remove this sort of hole, this little dip here. There we go, now it fades out. And then I want to bring the volume back up because there's going to be some little runs here. Nice, that works really well. So that's a massive success in my book. So now what that means is that we can remove the Piccolo MIDI channel, and then we can also remove the Piccolo, let's see, Piccolo, oh, that's on the other thing. And remove the Piccolo articulation in the thing. Where is it? I think I might have not noticed it. Yeah, because it should be in this one. Oh yeah, PF. It's just called PF, so that was kind of confusing me. So we can delete that. Wait, no, that was a trill. Oh, I removed the trill by accident. Hold on, I have to go. I suppose I can add it back, but I think I really need, let me see if I have a backup. Oh, but then it's going to make me load everything up again. That's going to be annoying. So let me try to find that trill again and see if it all just sounds fine. I might have to adjust some things. Piccolo flute effects. Trill, I think trill, halftone trill, yeah, it would be the thing. Let's add that there. And then what channel did I have it at? There should be, okay, it should be, nope, not 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I can just replace it with the accent thing, because I don't need this anymore. So let me set it to 7. And then I'm going to go and change this trill note here to channel 7. Alt C. See how that sounds. Okay, first problem is that it's not loud enough. Let's try to turn the velocity up. Okay, it needs to be a little louder. Let's see. Nice, okay, that works. Nice. And I think, are we in, does the Piccolo have a staccato trill right now? Let's see, what is the, oh, I did change it to staccato. Let's try using staccato here. But I am gonna need, Yeah, let's use staccato. Let's use staccato on those short notes, and then switch to sustain when it comes to the regular notes. I actually kind of like the total sustain better. Maybe do that because the note comes in clearer. Yeah. Nice. Okay, so that's about it for the Piccolo. Got that sorted out. With that, welcome, Aaron. Hey, Sam. Just want to say I'm glad to be back in live stream again. I'll sure to drop in whenever I can. Nice. Glad to have you here. Okay, so what I now want to do, now we can begin on Lockjaw's Saga, for which I have downloaded some. I have from before where I downloaded some. Actually, that's going to be in my samples. Let's see. I downloaded some samples from Freesound that involve someone actually recorded like below deck, like water below the deck of a ship, which is pretty cool because it has the proper amount of reverb and everything. But there's also some problems because it has some it has a guy sneezing in it, strangely enough, and it has some like clicks like that I don't want. So we're gonna have to do some editing to stop that. And so that's going to transition on that's gonna start on the final note of Crocodile Isle, like this. Nice. But it sounds really good except for the snaps. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go set my snap to none. And then I'm going to put a slice everywhere where there's a snap. And so here there's a snap. Right here. I don't want that in there. There's like a whole bunch of snaps here. Like a little snap here. And then there's a guy sneezing for some reason, so we'll remove that too. And then we'll remove that. Remove that. I think to some extent, like this is a long one, so we probably won't use all of that. So let's just remove the snaps. And then we'll fade it into itself so that it doesn't, you can't hear them. And you can't hear that it's stopping. Okay, so pretty much now we just have to remove the gaps and fade everything in slightly into each other so that you don't hear a difference. See how fluid that sounds? Pretty amazing. Okay, and that all ought to work pretty nicely. Okay, so, and the other thing I wanted to do, I wanted to reuse one of the other creaking sounds because there was one that had like a really ominous feeling to it when you play it alone. This one. Yeah. So that would lend itself great to like the ominous atmosphere of the song. Now there is some some low frequency rumble that I do want to remove here. Let's call this creaks. And then I'm gonna turn the low end shelf on the EQ all the way down. Except that I do want some bass in there. I just want to remove like the really low bass. I might need to zero in on this because I wanna kind of zero in on this so that I don't remove too much bass. It's kind of tight. Let's go. Yeah, that'll do. I kind of want to turn it up too. Not, well, actually, yeah, that one. Nice. I kind of want to remove this piece because I do know that it's like, it has this little swishing sound. Nice, and I do kind of want to bring this up, higher volume. Nice, that sounds great. Okay, so let me see. Now we can begin. Now we can bring in the MIDI for Lockjaw's Saga. So let's make a new pattern, and then let's go DKC restorations. Oh, I need to load in. Need to load up Google Drive for this. And then let's go to track blueprints. And then we're going to go to L, Lockjaw's Saga, and then drag it in here. Go to MIDI out, don't start a new project, and there we go. So now we have, first of all, we have our tom hit. Let's go, I want to have this like be repeating. So let's go grab this, let's grab like one hit and then the tom roll, the tom fill here. I think this is like, gonna be, oh yeah, because it's like, but I'm going to want to bring, yeah, actually, okay, so that would be where it starts. Okay, so that would be the loop right there. Okay, so let's go and bring this into, like, let's find first empty, call this beat. And then I'm gonna go to all. And I'm gonna go to contact here. Actually, I wanna see if maybe I can put more drums in here now that I don't have so much being loaded into the disk. Yeah, maybe we can do that. And then I have it saved, so maybe, so if I do end up overloading, then I can go back. So let's go to orchestral percussion, and let's go to drums. And then we can go to concert toms combo, and let's add it. Then let's set this to, the next one would be 14. So we'll go and add it in there, and then for beat, we'll go to paste this here. And then I want to add, actually, this is a repeat, okay. Yeah. So what I have here is, I want to set this to, what is it, 14? And so I have a piece of it here. So there's another part of the beat in other channels because the notes overlap each other. So let's grab this. Go back to beat and go to play. Paste this here. And then now we have, I believe, let's see, I don't really know. Yeah, so this, okay, there we go. And so you have pitches here. Let's Alt-C to change this channel to, and then I think I want to control legato to make these so I can see the notes very clearly. And then let's see if they have any other layers. I think it's might be, no, this is that might be, yeah, that's another layer, I do believe. Not sound effects. That would be okay, so there's just that bass part right there on the hit. And then we'll go here. Yeah, because it does okay, and then we'll Alt-C, remove this part, and then, so now what I need to do is map the pitch. Because it's gonna have, it has different pitches on the drum, and there's different pitches included in this sample thing, where we go here, I think is the bottom, and you have 4 different pitches here. So let's go, and we probably have more than that in here, but let's map them out real quick. So let's try to map this one out to the next octave. And then let's make sure that this one, let's go down here and then do that. This one is going to go down here to this C. And then we have like 2 more pitches that are unaccounted for. So this one is almost the top. So we can send this up here. And then this one, okay, so okay, so this one, okay, that sounds good. Now you just need to give it more velocity, really. Nice. And actually, one thing I can do is instead of melting that together, this bass really bassy drum here might be better off if we use like an actual bass drum instead of the toms. So what I want to do instead of is get that pitch back, and then we're going to send this to whatever the bass drum is. I have to see. So let's say that we're going to go to the 40-inch bass drum, which is 2, and the 32-inch is 3 in case I need that. So let's go to that one and then just Alt-C to change. Cool. So now let's Alt-X to change the things, and then we're going to send this one down. And then this one is going to go down to that C. Nice. Nice. Sweet. So that'll do for this. Now what I want to do is add this to the mix. And let me go back to being a bar beat, and then we're gonna have I'm gonna put the beat here, and then I'm gonna cut off the like the fill. Okay, so we're gonna mix that in with the intro to Welcome to Crocodile Isle, and then let me see what I have to do to get that flam to be in the beginning. Right here, okay. And let's make sure that I don't have the bass drum being hit in the ending here, because I do think I did some like bass drum stuff. Okay, that's at the beginning, so that one doesn't matter. But I have a bass drum hit on the thing, let's see, on the downbeat. Okay, so that is a timpani, I think. Which one is this? Channel 3? Okay, so that's the other bass drum. Let me try muting that out and see what we get. Nice. Okay, cool. I kind of want a longer hit. Oh, it's got to be slower too. So once we hit here, we need the Lockjaw Saga. And I want to trim it down to here because I don't want to have it be before the beat. Nice. Oh, also the tempo change is gonna mess with my timing on the recording, so I have to adjust. Actually, these two are so small and I have so much more recording than I need. I can just remove those. Only big pieces. Oh, it sounds just like the original, pretty much. Wow. And I want a bigger hit out of that. Let me see if I put just everything to full velocity. Let me see if that gives me a stronger hit. It's a little better. Okay, and let me check the integrity of like how the rest of the orchestral arrangements play. And I want the penny whistle to be a little less prominent in the mix. Cool. Nice. Oh, but I forgot. This is not going to lead directly into Lockjaw's Saga. It's going to lead into... It's going to eventually lead into Klomp's Romp. So let's actually leave a space here. Big space. Nice. Cool. And I don't want to this is too loud, so I don't want that. I want to turn down the concert toms a bit. Okay, yeah, cool. It can max out at that pretty much, I don't care. Well, maybe, yeah. Maybe a little less. Maybe let's go to 3 dB. Just keep it round. Okay. Yeah, that's good. Now, how many times does it play before you get to the fill? Okay, so it plays 4 times before you get to the fill. That means we need once more. Wait a second. Okay, and then you have that flam again. Okay. Actually, I want this part to come into it. And then you continue to have it every other, every 2 bars, I think. But then it stops at some point. What point is that? No, it actually doesn't stop. It just keeps on going. Wow, cool. But at some point, the song does loop, and I want to, like, cut that out. So it goes from... Yeah, it's still going. Okay. So let's just take this, and then we're gonna, like, duplicate it a bunch of times. Let me actually use my hand for this because I want to like use the touchscreen function. And then where does it end? So, whoops, I got my hand over the camera here. Okay, let's gonna show me where it ends. So I can see where the melody ends here, which is when the beat starts to get, like, the double... Oh, there's the double bass. The bass drum beat drops out there. Okay, and then that's the end. Okay, so there, that is where we can actually fade out. Like, we can have the sound effects end as well. Nice. And actually, I think there's a better part. Looks like there's a better part to these, oops, to this rumble here. Whoops, I'm covering my camera. Might be a better part here. Yeah, I like that section a little better. Actually, no, it pretty much gets, like, gets even better in the first part. I just want to make sure that I fade it out here. No. Nice. Cool. Okay, so for the melodic elements, we are going to do, see, we can remove this and this for now. Oh, there's another fill in here. Oh no, that's the loop. Never mind. There's not another fill in there. So I can remove this part. And also remove the bass drum. Notes. Now, the next thing we have is the snares. And they go for a while. They go until here. And this is kind of like a repeated thing. So, I think this comes in when the... One thing I can do is, I can take this loop and put it into the, beat. So, like, after the, oh, that would also make it convenient not to use the thing. So let's, I'm gonna paste my snare. Let me go to the, actually the snares. There's a snares thing. So where's my snare articulate? Okay. Let's put that down here, and then we're gonna change the... So we have some rolls, some sort of rolls here. So there's a couple of places where there's rolls here. That would be here, here, and here, and here. Let's select all those notes. And Control Q to quantize it. And then we're going to go find a note where there is... And this would also arguably include the hit before that. So let's go remove the hit before that and see how that does. And then we can extend that, shift up to, what was it, A? No, it was B. And then we can extend this out, and let's also up the velocity. Oh, I can't do the, I don't want to do all of that. I think I need it to be longer. Ah, I see, it's only... Okay, I think I'll just keep the hit, like, after that. And then maybe another. And with the less velocity. Nice, so let's let that last hit ring out all the way. Okay, and now for this part, let's add the other hit again, but this time, like the initial hit, but this time without the bass drums. Let's go here. And then let's try to grab that bass drum thing that's still in there. Yeah, because there's no bass drum here. Actually, this needs to go this way because I remember it's like a thing. Okay, so that'll do. Nice, okay. I think we need another hit there just to make it. Nice. Okay, I just want to confirm that the bass drum ends on the first hit of the snare. Let's see. I think I removed it already. Oh well, it doesn't really matter that much. Okay, so that means that now we can remove this hit right here and this one here. So it should be there. Okay, and then you just have, just want to have, you just make a cut here. Cool, and you can just keep repeating that then. And now, at the end, I do want another bass drum hit. So what I will do is just cut the beginning off this one and let that one ring out. Nice. Okay, that's a perfect ending. Lovely. Okay, and that's our drums pretty much. I know I have other snares. Let me try this snare, see if that one sounds better. Because this one was the one from the thing. Now the only real difference is that one's louder. I'd say I probably don't even need that snare. So let's go for this snare too, and then just add it to this one, and then we can remove the other snare. And as such, we can go change the velocities. There we go. And let's say that I want this to be legato, because I want to hear all those like longer notes. And then in K roll returns, there's more of those snares, yes. Cut those, bring them here. And then up the velocity. I don't really hear those that well. Yeah, let me up the velocity even more. Interesting. Oh, this one's louder. Cool. That sounds good. Okay, now let's remove the MIDI for the second snares, and then let's go remove the patch as well. Which I can't seem to find at the moment. Maybe they're both in the other one somehow. Are they both pointing to the same place and I just didn't notice? Perhaps there never was a snares patch. Oh well, it sounds good anyway, so I don't care. All right, so that sounds good. That sounds great. Okay. You complete DKC. You complete restore DKC last time. Why again? Oh yeah, I'm recreating it this time. Yes. Good morning, Beef Wellington. Welcome. Nice. And welcome, guy with the Slimer picture. Nice. I'm not sure what that says. But yeah, we are recreating it because we're using modern sounds this time, not the sounds that the composer used. Sweet. Okay. So now we can get some melodic elements going. Let's do that. So let's remove the snares sound. And it looks like next we have the melody, the main melody, played by those French horns. So let's go cut those. And then I'm going to go to the French horns patch. And then we're going to paste that there. But FL Studio always puts things in the wrong place. I think it is putting them like later. I think it's supposed to go here. And so let's up the velocity. Oh, beautiful. Great French horns. Nice. And then you have some strings there after that. So we can remove this, but I need to know what, well, no, the panning isn't going to change because whatever panning we had before. I'm treating this like a symphony. So whatever the French horn, like the French horns are going to stay in the same place on the stage. So So the panning is going to remain the same. I don't want to have it moving around just because the game did that. I want to treat this like a real performance. The panning will stay center. And this is just an echo right here. So we can remove that. And then here you have the strings that are coming in. Da da dum dee doo, da dee da da dum, doo da 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 dum. Okay. So then we go to what's our? We need cella legato, I think. Let's go up. Okay, and this needs to move now to the left. Oh no, it needs to move later. And I think in another channel, it has a long note here. Yeah, that's right. Wait, I need to go to my legato. Yeah, there you go. But this is not nearly loud enough. And so what I want to do is turn the I want to check what other parts used. I think it's going to be, yeah, it's going to be this one. And this one is not I can barely hear them there too. And I think the French horns are a little bit too loud for their own good here. Oh no, that's not the French horns, that's the trombones. So let's turn those guys down. And now the celli are getting buried under there, so let's go and let's make them louder. They are celli. I think they're in the second one actually. Celli legato slur. There we go. Let's turn this all the way up. Let's see what we get. Oh, not that loud. But they kind of spiked in, yeah, we don't want them to be that loud. Why are they so, like, just loud right there? Let me solo them. Whoa, what is that? I think I need staccato notes at this point. Let's see. And they're not even responsive to velocity, so velocity never mattered at all. Okay, so let's cut these, and then let's send them to celli staccato. Oh, those are not enabled right now. And so the legato cello should be the same panning. Nice. Okay. Cool. So now they're pretty audible, right? So let's go back to Lockjaw's Saga and see if they're audible here. I can tell you right now, that's not going to be loud enough. Let's go turn them up here. And then we can Control I and paint that in. Nice. Okay, now let's unsolo this. So we need even more volume on that, apparently. Let's go here. Nice, that's more like it. Cool. Okay, and now for during payroll returns, I'm going to automate the volume of that. So we're going to set this to be like this. Turn it down even more, actually. Even more. Okay, that should be pretty good. So why is that one note so much louder? Oh, maybe it is responding to velocity. Maybe not. Maybe it's just weird. Okay, that works. Nice. Okay, I like that. Nice. Cool. It's a little bit offbeat because of the we need plugin delay compensation, because it's like there's some latency. It's making it out of sync with the rest of the track, but we'll get to that in mixing. And so, let's see. The feels. Ah, welcome, Seth. Hi, can you recreate the Waterworld theme, but the GBA version? I cannot, actually, because I'm missing those whale sounds. I don't have those whale sound effects. Don't know where they come from. Your job is beautiful, bro. I always listen to every track you have done. Thank you. Glad you enjoy it. Trade of All Jacks. Hey, Paisano. Welcome, Trade of All Jacks. Welcome, Humberto and Resterminator. All right, so let's go for our next thing that we have here, which is, I think, this sort of thing. Oh, this is the Piccolo. So let's go and copy that. Let me put don't loop the channels. No, don't do that. Let's go and put our viewpoint here. And then we can cut these notes, and I'm going to go into the Piccolo, which is in Contact. And I'm gonna paste this here. And then I think FL Studio once again pasted it on the wrong place, because we should be here. Okay, and then let's go channel 1. I think it's channel 1. No, that's the bass solo. We have to go to channel 2. Alt C. And I do believe we have to go up an octave. Oh, that sounds great. And I think the staccato articulation might work better here. Okay, that does sound better, but I need more velocity now. Oh, yeah, it goes up an octave. Let me see, try putting it... I think it sounded better when it was, like, lower velocity. Nice. Okay, that sounds good. I think I want staccato on the I think these those main notes are like long enough where they need legato. Okay, so everywhere where there's a long note, we make it legato. And the short notes are staccato. Okay, nice. Beautiful. All right, so let's see. What is next? I can remove that MIDI channel now. And remove this one. Okay, and this is just the sound effect line, I do believe. Yeah, because there's that might be the there's like a low string note in here. Like just a regular string note. But I don't know which one that is. Actually, if it's a G sharp, it might be. It's kind of hard to tell. Let's go get the Lockjaw Saga. Here we go. I think it's channel 3, maybe? Okay, that is the sound effect line. Okay, so we can remove that. And then in the next line we have some we have some strings, some short strings. So let's select those, but exclude the loop. And then let's go put our viewfinder here. And let's cut that, and let's go to Celli Staccato. And then we're gonna shift this to the beginning because FL Studio is bad at pasting. And then, so let's Alt X to bring up the velocities. Actually, I think this goes to the this is definitely more violin or viola range. Let's try that. Wait, hold on. Nice. Oh, but I'm kind of ruining, by doing that, I was kind of ruining the internal velocity sort of thing that we have here. Let me go back and say I want this to be the violins. Go up and then Alt X, but then let's not go all the way up. Let's leave some space because they're doing some. Okay, so we have something going on here where it's not always using the violins, which means that we will need to go first copy all of the sound, all of the parts of the chord. Because I want each of the different lines to go to different, to go to the proper string sections, be it violas, violi, cello. They're all different ranges. So here we have a different part of it. So let's select all this. And I do believe this is going to be the, actually I'm not sure which one. There might only be 2 of them. I'm not sure if they use 3 for this. So let's go to the violas and see what we get. Oh, this might be the synth, actually. Let me see which channels the thing. Nope, none of them there. Yeah, that's the harp, actually. Okay, so it's every other channel. Nice. Okay, so with that being said, I'm gonna undo that so that the notes are still there. Actually, I can just take it from this section, that doesn't matter. So here's the other part, the other string section. So we're going to cut these. And then I'm going to assume for now that these are violas. I'm going to go to viola staccato. Try to paste them here. And then see what we get. And then they're going to go up an octave. Okay, but these are going to be the same note? What? Oh, it's a glitch. I remember because a lot of the chords in Donkey Kong Country 2 glitch in the MIDI. Like it's a MIDI glitch. So these I'm just gonna have to use my ears for this one. And I think the velocities are glitching too, because there's not supposed to be a note here. So those slightly lower velocities are actually supposed to be much lower velocities. And which, not only that, but they're supposed to be an echo. So I'm supposed to remove them. I think it's, let's see, this one. Oh, it's supposed to be here. And that means I have to make that move for all of them, actually. Oh, that's crazy. I think, yeah, I don't really want to make that move for all of them. And I know these are wrong anyway, so let me, and then at the end, there's like a different thing here, but I'm going to wait on that. So let me just get the ensemble right first. Okay, so we're going to remove everything up to that last part. And then we're going to remove the and so this part is going to be, I think it should be here. Da 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 da. No, it's supposed to be here. Oh no, it is supposed to be there. Hold on. And let's see if it responds to velocity. Let's try to put the velocity down because I know these are supposed to be much lower velocity, but they're not echoes. I think it is responding to velocity. Nice. Although only a little bit, but so that's something. Nice, I like it. Sweet. Okay, so now let's grab the other part to that. It's going to be down here, the last channel. Okay, so let's just copy. I know these are all over the place. These are not supposed to change like that. I do know that for a fact. So let's cut this. And then go to the chili staccato. Go here and paste this, shift it over. Go up an octave. Let's bring the velocity up, and then oh no, it's supposed to be this one removed. Nice. So then that's repeated throughout the for most of the song. Paste, and then we go along, and wow, FL Studio is so bad with copy and pasting. They just need to rewrite that whole algorithm. So bad. No, why? Okay, and then I have the, I still have the notes in the violins. I just need to make sure that I know what they are. So one thing we can do, actually, I can legato this. Oh, I don't want that to happen. Whoops, I don't want that to happen either. Let's select these and then legato that. And then, so now that it's a whole thing, we can just Control B, Control B, Control B. Cool, that's a lot faster. Okay, so let's remove these, this, and this. Okay. So that should be good for the violins. Let's go and check out the violas. And so let's do the same thing. Let's select all these notes and then Control legato. And then this last note we have to manually do that for. So let's Control B, Control B. And then we'll remove those echo notes. Nice. Something sounds weird. Something sounds off about that flute bit, but we'll get to that later. Might be out of tune slightly. I'm not sure. And one thing that's going to make this kind of funny is that you have, so first of all, I want to multiply the velocities in such a way that we exaggerate the distance between these. And I'm just going to keep doing Alt X and Enter. So now we have this sort of thing right here. And then I think here the chord is different because it goes down. Okay, so let's go to violins, and then it's like nice. Okay, and then violas are going to go down to here. Oh no, that's supposed to be A sharp. And so I think the chords are definitely wrong here. They also need to be legatoed. Control L. So the cellos, I think, oh, the cellos are just not there. So this is like da 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 da. We have interesting. Let's see. We have nice. I wonder if this would sound better on the, or would be more conducive on the violas. I think the violas are suffering from the same thing. They don't have good enough volume. Let's try this. Let's solo this. Okay, that actually sounds pretty good. They're actually decent volume there. But I want them to be louder there. Let's see. I think it's this one. Let's go full volume here. And then here, let's turn it down. Let's do it like to here. Not that much. I think here Definitely want it to be even louder. Oh wow, look at that. They were buried under there. Okay, that's a good volume. And some of those notes sound a little bit... I think something went wrong with this. That might be a little too loud. I think these flutes, I can just pull down the velocity, actually. Oh, the staccato articulations are a lot quieter. Oh, I think the timing is off here, is really off here from the strings. That's what it is. That sounds pretty consistent. Wait, did I miss the harp here? I think I forgot about the harp completely. Crazy. Because I know there's a harp in this song. And it's like... Where's my harp at? I need a... I can use the Celtic harp, because the Celtic harp... It doesn't make sense to have two harps. It does something like that, I remember. So if we go like that, and let's see. And then we have the A sharp, no, or the G minor chord here. And then we go back to, and then we repeat. And then we go down to E major. And then we go up to A major. I'm gonna need those French horns to be louder. Nice. Oh, there's supposed to be like some harp sweeps in here too, so I kind of do need to bring the MIDI back to get that. So, let's go to, let's see. K rule returns. Yes, save changes. And then we're going to MIDI out and don't start a new project. Okay, so we have the harp here. This is the harp line. Let's just copy this into, let's see. Here, and then we can, or let's go back to K rule returns. And then do that. And so now we have the line as it's supposed to be. Oh, actually the notes I did weren't totally correct. Shift I, let's cut that. And then let's do it like that. Nice. Good harp bliss. Nice, okay. Cool, I think I want the pizzicato violins to be louder. Let's do like this. Nice. So let's do the glockenspiel at normal volume here. Actually, let's do more. There we go. Nice. Nice, okay. And the harp is actually going to get reused here too, so it's good that I added that. Let's call this harp. But let's first remove the elements of the other MIDI that we added. And then let's delete this pattern. Nice. Okay, so now Lockjaw's Saga. We do have some so we are using the cellos twice because we have the two articulations going at once. But I think that's a like sort of an acceptable thing because we are using the full thing. So nice. Oh, it's actually there's two things to this. So okay, so what I have to do here is so this goes here and then this does that. Okay, good. And then for the violas, actually I'm missing all of my violas. Oh, the violas, that's the legato version. No. And so back to that, I want to make sure that the violas come through loud enough. Nice, and I do think they sound better than the cellos. Nice, I like that sound. Okay, so the viola staccatos are going to be as follows. We have on the second measure, or the second section, I should say, like the fourth bar of the things, we have da 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 da, and then this one's gonna be da 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 da. So we have da 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 da, and then we have a B here, like it's a G. I think it's a G major chord. Da da. So this would all shift. Da 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 da. And I think that's actually reflected in the violins as well. Da 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 da. Yeah, because these have to go down to D. Wait, it would be like. Wait. Yeah. And then you have this G sharp still going up there. And so then, yeah, that works. And then we have the cellos. Good. This C will go down to B. And I think this just stays B. Yeah. Okay, and now I need this, all of these to repeat. Like this articulation needs to be here. So, let's control L to legato that, and then we will repeat these two lines. And I think I have to do legato here as well. Okay. Then we go to violas, and I think, yeah, you have to, it might just be a simple fix. It might just be easier just to do this. Yeah, it might be easier just to fix them like that. And then we do da 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 da. Oh, this one needs to go down to D. Cool, so that works. Let's delete this. And then you have the synth here. Now for that, let's see. If they ever remaster DK13, they should hire you to make the OSTs. Yes, that would be great. I'd have to get that Nintendo money. If Resterminator was to commission that GBA Waterworld track, would you then try to tackle it? No, that's not the point. Is the point is that I physically cannot do Waterworld because I don't have the sound effects of the whales, like the whale calls. I don't know where they come from, and for this to work, I need to know the source of pretty much every sound except for the synths, because the synths I just recreate most of the time, unless it comes from, like, a lot of the presets are, If it's a simple synth, I can recreate it, but not some of those FM synths. But we do know the source of those FM synths. But the waves, the whale sounds, I have to know the source of those. I can't recreate it without knowing the source of that. So it can't be, so it simply cannot be done at this point. Waited so long for this. Welcome, welcome, Sebaz. Now the time is here. All right, so, now, let's see. So this synth, there's like a synth here, dun, 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 that one that goes like, let's see, where is it here? Okay, so this sound is sort of spread. It's because each of the time it changes, the synth morphs. It uses a different sample, and so it's going to show up as a bunch of different channels. So instead of doing that, what I'm going to have to do is play this synth live, or like type it, or like input it into the piano roll. And I have latency when I'm on stream, so I can't play it live. So what I'm going to do is just input it into the system. So I'm going to remove all of these MIDI channels, and then I'm going to add a synth. And it doesn't have to be exactly like the system because this is a cover, so I'm going to make a more modern synth channel instead of slaving to the original like I did the first one, like I did on the restorations. But let's see. So, sorry, I get that. Would you try to improvise the whale sounds? No worries. And I can't really improvise the whale sounds because they're sound effects, they're recordings. So you have to, and particularly it's sound effects, so you have to get, each recording is different, so you can't really just improvise it, unfortunately. I have to know where the sound effect came from. So, I mean, you could commission me to do it without the whale sound effects, and then I could just leave the whale sound effects out, and then I can put it out as a video that says it's partially or it's mostly restored. I could do that if you wanted to commission it. I could do that, and then if I find the whale sound effects, just add it in there. Hey, welcome, Rito Gamer. This is one of my favorite songs from DKC2. Great. Nice. Glad to have you here. Okay, so this is so this synth that we have is like, whoops, that's a loud one. Let's turn them down. And I think in the original it was like, what note was it? It was going into different octaves. Yeah, I think it's a C. It definitely sounds like a C. So what I want to do now is I want to map the filter here, the filter cutoff, to the mod wheel on the controller. So now I can control this. And actually, it would be better to, I don't need to move this in a custom way. I can simply put an LFO on it. So if I want to go to that, go to Articulator and then choose LFO, and then enable this and press global, so it won't, otherwise it'll reset every time I hit the note. And so it's a little bit, I need to turn the cutoff knob down. Okay, so that's good. Now I just need to raise the resonance, give it some resonance. Okay, cool. Now let's just give it an envelope. Or actually, I can just use the pluck function. That's a more modern. So what a modern synthesizer would do, it would probably use a pluck function. You hear that a lot in pop songs, right? You hear a lot of like pluck articulations where it's like. Nice. Okay, that sounds pretty good. Now, let's okay. Just think Sam was just wondering. You're welcome. No problem. All right. So, let's see. So you have this. Let me actually hear that one more time just so I can be sure I get it right. Actually, I think it's like a power chord between C and we can hear it clearly if it's isolated here. Let's play it slow. Cool, okay, I think I've got a good beat on that. Let me then go into the synth and then let's see, it starts. And then I think this one's pretty much going to start at the beginning, except here we have the. So it's gonna. I think it pretty much starts here. You have. But oh wait, I can just Let me put it in here. I think it's like here would be the first note. And then I think it's like Let me check that part again. Let's see. Okay, so it looks like it's starting up in a higher octave. Starting up at a higher octave and then going. Okay, so it's like. Okay, and so I got a gap here that I have to remove. Okay, so da 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 da. Okay, so it looks like it's dun da 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 dun da da dun da dun. You know what I could do is just, I'd probably be easier just to go take this from the restoration, take the lines from the restoration. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to save that, and then I'm going to load up the restoration file. And then I'm going to go and see what I have for that. And that'll also allow me to get the notches from the filter. So let's go Lockjaw's Saga. Yeah, that'll be a lot easier. Okay. And of course, since Contact is a bad plugin, it's going to forget all my patches, but that's okay. We don't need those right now. Okay, so now if I go to the synth, oh wait. Oh, it actually is the same note. Cool. So this is all I need. I just need to copy these notes because they already have the information, the cutoff information in it. Oh yeah, there we go. Let's go back to the thing, and the only thing is this going to take a long time to load up the orchestral articulations again. That's a lot of data to unload. Oh, actually, it's going pretty fast. Nice. Okay, so let's go here, and then let's go delete, and then we're gonna paste this stuff here. So now instead of doing the like filter envelope or LFO, we can just use the notches. And it's not really working. Let's see, partly because I have the velocity down. Oh, because it's mapped to modulation X, and the modulation is not mapped to the filter. You have to go edit our quick map to modulation X. Okay, and I don't want it to be that big of a sweep, so it's got to be a little bit restricted here. Nice. I need more resonance on that. I think it's also like a lower octave. No, I think it's not. I think it's actually just a different cutoff. Let me do the mod wheel for this. Let me restrict it even a little bit more. think it might be... Cool, sounds like a phaser almost. Nice. Now let's give it some chorus. Nice, okay. And then some reverb. And I think the delay here was like really fast. Yeah, there you go. Stereo separation. Nice. Love it. Let's give it some saturation. Maybe a little bit less than that. Lovely. Okay, so then let's Control B and like just keep this going for a while until the main swing comes in. Now for the strings, they're coming on a little strong. Let's Alt X and turn them down a bit. Okay, so let's enter that, and then let's do... That sounds much better. Nice. I think that flute might sound better with just straight staccato or just straight like sustained articulations. Yeah, it sounds more consistent. I like that. Lovely. Okay. So, welcome that Soto. All right. So, we have more sound effects here that I want to remove. And then there's like some subtle strings here. It's almost indistinguishable in the original, but it's there. It's like some strings. And I want those to be, those are definitely going to be cello range because I remember them. I can play them for you, see if you can, so you can hear them. I can find which channel they're in. There they are. Very quiet. But they're there. So it's just like a bunch of like legato cello notes. And so let's cut this and let's bring it to cello legato. Let's turn them down in velocity, but I think it's not, oh, it's obeying velocity, so that doesn't matter anyway. What we're going to have to do in this situation is turn down the volume to really be nice. Okay, so let's call this synth. Let's call it synth. Pretty simple. And then you have whatever this is here. This is something that's already been done. I don't know what this is. I think it might be part of the sound effects. Oh, that's the string. That's that one string note that we already got. This is already from the thing. It's already after the loop, so we pulled that off. So here's the bass. So let's take the bass and bring it to its channel, its orchestra channel. And I think actually, okay, yeah, here's the loop, so we can remove this part after the loop. And then this bass, I think it's like the first channel, right? Nope, that's the snares. Nope. And then maybe it's 4. There we go. Okay, so let's Alt-C to bring it to channel 4. Nice. Now it sounds complete. Lovely. Okay. Okay, and then the next thing that we have is the harp. So let's control and select this stuff. And then we're going to go to the harp, place that there, and then we're going to move it to where it needs to go. Now the problem here is that we have a lot of echo notes. So we kind of have to manually remove this, and I can tell there's an internal repetition here, so we can make our job easier by cutting this out, and then we can more easily remove the wait, hold on. I think I might have removed too much. Kind of hard to tell because there's a lot of repeated stuff here. Let's bring up the velocities. It might be an octave up too. Yeah, there we go. Oh, and this is not exactly a repeat, because remember they have that second section where it goes to G major. So this note can be removed. Ah, this note can be removed. Okay, so it's basically, it's on a rhythm, right? So it's just straight eighth notes. So that means all the odd rhythms can be removed. But I actually just removed a few off odd numbers by accident, or on beats by accident. All the off beats can be removed. And you can kind of hear the difference here. Cool. Nice. Okay. Oh, it actually does repeat. Okay, so I did a lot of unnecessary work. Nice. Okay. So let's hear it. Let's bring that synth up. I wanted that to be louder. Something's lacking there. Okay, I think these are the celli. Yeah. This is the rest of the celli. Let me see oh yeah, that is the other part of the celli. Okay, so I think this is like part of the flute, another one of the flutes. It sounds like something is a little bit underwhelming there. It's like maybe the celli are not coming in. Oh, these are not even the right notes. Wow. Okay, so da 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 da. Wait, no, are they? I think they are actually. Yeah. Yeah. They just didn't look like it. Cool, so what is missing here? Might be the harp. Maybe the harp is supposed to extend in here. Let me bring back all the channels in the original and see what is missing. Oh, it is the harp. Cool. Okay, let's repeat that. And let's shift that over a little bit. Wait a second. Once again, FL Studio's bad handling of pasting escapes me. Let's set this to be half a step. And then let me Control L so that they are at least a little longer. Oh, okay, so and then you have this shift to G major here. So we have to go from C to B. And then we have to turn G to, actually, I think this is like, D sharp to C. Okay. Actually, this should be G sharp. I think there's an articulation I'm missing here. Let me go back to before I removed some of those channels. Where is that? I think it was a while ago. Oh well. So let me hear what's going on. Oh, the harp is still going. Oh yeah, I remember that riff now. So it was like... So this should be here. And then we have a G sharp. I'm glad my muscle memory serves me well here, because I'm just playing this off memory. Okay, and so then we just repeat that over again. And does it go for the full length of the song? I can't even tell. Oh, it stops. Oh, it does stop when the horn comes in, but doesn't it continue somewhere else? No, it doesn't. Okay. It does continue there. Okay, cool. Let's hear it all together. I think I want a volume envelope on the synth in addition to that articulation. I think it's up an octave too. No, actually not. Oh, I know what it is. It's that bass drum is not there. That's what, it's still something not sounding right, and I think it's because the bass drum isn't there. So I need that bass drum. So let's click this, Shift C, copy and paste, put it over here again. There we go. What a difference that makes. Lovely. All right, so that we can call that done. Yeah, this is a good track. Oh, one thing, and then the last thing I need to do is clean up after myself by removing the rest of the MIDI tracks. And then I need to remove, no, the pattern stays, but the MIDI tracks go. And so the only thing is, like, now there's still some automation left over because now I still have this, or maybe it's just, I can probably just remove this. Well, let me see how it reacts. Okay, yeah, it's shortened, so nice. So you have, so that's gonna bleed into the next track, which is I'm not gonna do it today, but it's Boss Bossa Nova. And well, actually, it could probably bleed into the next track, I'd say. Yeah, so that'll be it for today. I need to give my computer a break. So that was fun. And we've been doing it for almost 3 hours. So that's great. Lockjaw's Locker. Oh yeah, welcome Jeebus Saves. Welcome R.A. Benjamin. Unfortunately, y'all are on the end of the stream now because I'm about to head out. But we finished Jib Jig and Lockjaw's Locker. So tomorrow, I think, well, yeah, I might not stream tomorrow, but next time I stream, we will get on the boss tune, and then maybe move on to Hot Head Bop. Actually, I skipped the bonus tune. Yeah, I did. I forgot about the bonus tune. So maybe we'll do that instead. Yeah, I have to go back to the bonus tune because the bonus tune should have been after the first level. Oh, I think I missed a oh yeah, I'm fairly sure like the weird sound should be some kind of woodwind string instrument. Probably not. It's probably humpback whale sounds because those doesn't really sound like a woodwind / string instrument. It could be some kind of guitar. But I'm not sure. I don't even know I wouldn't even know where to begin to look for that. I'm not, my searching for samples high and low days are over. And that takes a lot of time, so I don't really do that anymore. But there are other people looking. I'm sure if it's found, I'll hear about it. Anyway, thanks y'all for coming to the stream, and this will be Jammin' Sam signing off. Until next time, take care.